Thank you so much for being here tonight. Please continue to enjoy your dinner while we commence with our program, and welcome to the 16th Annual Pierce College Distinguished Alumni Celebration. My name is Susie Ames. I'm the Vice President of Advancement and Executive Director of the Pierce College Foundation. It is the Foundation's true pleasure to be the host of this special evening. Tonight, you're going to hear 3 remarkable stories of Pierce College successes. They represent thousands of stories that we hear and see and experience every day at Pierce College. I think tonight that you will walk away with profound respect for what these 3 individuals who have accomplished in their life. Pierce College is truly humbled to just be one player in the role of their journeys. Our honorees tonight have accomplished monumental odds. They've made the most of their skills and their talents and their dreams, and they're truly making a difference in this world every single day. Before we introduce our recipients tonight, I have a few special people I'd like to introduce. We have 2 of our Pierce College trustees with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming the chair of our Board of Trustees, Jackie Rosenblatt. And Angie Rority, who is also an ex officio member of the Pierce College Foundation Board. Tonight, we have a few members of the Pierce College Foundation Board who are celebrating with us tonight. Please join me in welcoming Judy DeJardin, Linda Evanson, Marty Lobdell, Susie Russell Hall, and Phil Yates. Tonight, we're privileged to have a few former Foundation Board members with us tonight, including our beloved emeritus member, Don Thomas, and his lovely wife, Audrey. Karen Scott. And Jan Lucas with her husband, Ron Lucas, who's the mayor of Steilacoom. We also like to recognize the elected officials in the room tonight and would like to welcome Dick Murray, who's the Pierce County Council member and candidate for the 10th Congressional District. Tonight, we're really honored that a few former distinguished alums have helped us sponsor this event. They are truly paying it forward and recognizing those who have come after them. So please join me in thanking John Gibson of Cool Cycles, Dr. Beth O'Connor, who could not be here with us this evening, and Jonathan Harris. And tonight, I'm pleased to announce that it's the first time we've had a corporate sponsor helping us underwrite this event, so please join me in thanking Boeing Employees Credit Union. Amongst our audience tonight, we have 13 Pierce College students who are here thanks to some generous sponsors who wanted to give an opportunity for these students to have a great evening. These students, we hope, will be inspired this evening by folks who have walked in their shoes in these halls of Pierce College. These students represent veterans, international students, music students, and students taking law classes. They look a lot like our recipients did a few years ago. Please join me in thanking the following sponsors to make it possible for these students to be here tonight. Foundation Board member Judy DeJardin and her husband Bob. They couldn't be with us tonight, but Foundation Board member Dave Hamry and his wife Barbara. And still vacationing in Hawaii, our board president Glenn Zevenbergen and his wife Debbie. He says he's really sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but we know otherwise. Welcome, students. I hope that you find inspiration in the stories tonight, and we hope to see you up here on this podium in just a few years. And I'd like to give a special thank you to Linda and Phil Yates, who graciously opened up their home to host our honoree, Shota Nakama, who lives out of state and now has a wonderful house to be in these next couple days. some faculty members in the room tonight, and I'd love to have them stand so we can thank them and recognize the difference they make in the lives of our students every single day. Could we have the faculty members stand? I think you'll hear tonight what a difference these individuals make in the lives of our students, and we're grateful for the work that you do. I'm fortunate at Pierce College to work with a remarkable team of leaders. Please help me recognize some of those folks who are in the room tonight. Pierce College Chancellor, Dr. Michelle Johnson. President of Pierce College Fort Steilacoom, Denise Yoakum. President of Pierce College Puyallup, Dr. Patrick Schmidt. Our Director of Workforce Development, soon to have a much longer title, Joanne Beria. Our Vice President of Human Resources, Jan Buchholz. And another woman soon to have a much longer title, our Dean of Library Services, Dr. Deb Gilchrist. We're so thrilled to have you here all tonight. I'm just really looking forward to the inspirational stories that you'll hear, and I just hope you walk away with the emotions I'm anticipating we all will, and it's just going to be a great evening. With that, it's my pleasure to invite to the podium our Chancellor, Dr. Michelle Johnson. Michelle will tell you a little bit about the Pierce College District. She's worked at Pierce College for over 30 years. She won't give you the entire history, but she is one of our largest donors to the Pierce College Foundation, and she truly makes a difference in the lives of our students every day. Michelle?
Thank you so much, Susie. You know, it is such a pleasure to be here to honor our honorees. They truly are representative of the incredible work that is done each and every day at Pierce College. For most of these individuals or these returning folks, our campus looks very different than it did not long ago, and our Puyallup campus continues to grow as well. You know, many of you are friends of Pierce College, but some of you are new here tonight. Some of you know who we are and what we're about, and others are just learning. So I want to just give you a very brief overview of who Pierce College is, what it is that we do. We're two colleges, and we're part of the 34 community and technical college system. And we're really proud to be in this system because we serve, as a statewide, almost 500,000 students a year in some kind of program. At Pierce College, that's about 27,000 students. And we do it at our campus here at Pierce College Fort Steilacoom, our newer campus, Puyallup, Pierce College Puyallup. And we have a very large military program at Joint Base Lewis McChord. And many of those individuals are not on base or on post, but they're around the world serving our country. And we have the honor to serve them as education providers while they're serving us. We prepare individuals for the first 2 years of a baccalaureate degree, and we're very proud to say that when our students transfer, they do as well as those students who came to the university as what they call native freshman students. And we're really proud of that. And in this state, 38% of everybody who gets a bachelor's degree has come through community college. So we have a significant role in transfer education. We also have 50-some programs in workforce education, professional technical education, from nursing to dental hygiene to vet tech to criminal justice, accounting, business management. In addition, we have programs within our transfer, programs like music and theater, sociology and psychology, history and political science. So preparing individuals for all of that work. And we have a growing number of individuals who are new to our community, where English is their second language, and they want to fully participate in this culture, in this community, and they come to us for improved English skills, and from them also some work skills. As well as students, for whatever reason, who didn't make it the first time when they were in high school, they come to us as well to complete their GED or their high school diploma and use it as a launching point to the next thing that they do. We have amazing programs and student programs, from athletics to our fabulous student leaders to, as I said before, our theater and music, which are co-curricular. So not only are they an academic program, but they provide for great student life on our campuses. So there's a lot happening, and we're so glad that you're with us. And so tonight, I think what you're going to see is that the three individuals, they really represent what happens when possibilities are realized. Here they are as folks who come to us with all different kinds of goals, and they have turned their dreams and aspirations into huge success that you will hear. So with me, we're going to celebrate these folks, and I am honored to introduce two of our previous distinguished alum. In fact, our program first started in 1981. It's the first time we decided to recognize an alumni for his or her distinction in our community. And our first was Jerry McLaughlin. And Jerry is the partner of J. Ray, which is a branding and advertising marketing company. He's just retired, but I know he is still involved in our community. He's in Rotary with me, and I see him all over the place. And so Jerry was here early on in the late 60s and early 70s, and in 1981 was that first alum that we recognized. And with him, also co-hosting with us as our MCs, is Jody Woodcock. And Jody is a more recent distinguished alumnus. She was selected in 2010, and she serves as the Deputy Director for Pierce County Emergency Management. So they're going to take us through the program this evening. Again, thank you for being here and sharing in this wonderful event. So Jerry and Jody, you want to take over? It's all yours.
Okay, so I guess I'm up first, and before I get into the real program, I wanted to say thanks to Pierce College. Through Pierce College, I took an advertising class, and that teacher later on started his own company. And after I graduated from UPS, he hired me as one of his employees. Later on, I became one of the owners of the company. And now I've just retired, and I did very well, so all thanks to Pierce College. Okay, now back to the program. Okay, it's a great honor to be part of this inspiring ceremony. I proudly call myself an alumnus of Pierce College, and it's great to be surrounded by so many of you. I'd like to recognize a few former distinguished alumni who are here in the room tonight. So if you wouldn't mind, as I call your name, just stand up briefly just so we can see who you are. John Gibson, owner of Cool Cycles. Hi, John. Jonathan Harris, retired United States Air Force. Retired General Oscar Hillman. Okay. Armando Mejia, military liaison for the Boys and Girls Club of South Puget Sound. Okay, Jody.
All right. It is wonderful to be here tonight, and I want to thank Pierce College Foundation for inviting me, and I got to brag that I just hired a Pierce College student this week. So any opportunity I get to bring Pierce College students into Pierce County government, I'm all for it. So it is wonderful to be here, and we are adding 3 more people to the list of distinguished alumni. Each of them is so deserving of this recognition, and they are the Honorable Gary Johnson, Pierce County Superior Court Judge. Shota Nakama, founder, producer, and director of Video Game Orchestra. And Sergeant First Class Leroy Petrie, Medal of Honor recipient.
And now let's learn more about these remarkable people. After completing an associate degree at Fort Steilacoom Community College, Pierce County Superior Court Judge Gary Johnson earned a bachelor's degree from the University of Puget Sound and worked as a juvenile probation officer. Inspired to contribute even more to the community, Judge Johnson graduated with honors from the University of Puget Sound Law School. He worked for 30 years as an attorney handling a wide variety of cases. He also served as a prosecutor for the city of Gig Harbor and as a pro tem judge in Kitsap County and Port Orchard. In March 2011, he was appointed to the Pierce County Superior Court by Governor Christine Gregoire. Judge Johnson's commitment to fairness, to kindness, to respect, and to the law is always on the forefront, guiding him through his job that is both challenging and rewarding. He was nominated by Thurston County Superior Court Judge Lisa Sutton, who is also here with us tonight. Congratulations, John, and let's watch a video to see what he is about.
When I originally applied at, was in Fort Steilacoom Community College, it was actually Clover Park Community College at that point. My first two classes at the community college were both incompletes. So it gives you an idea how this all went. I think the unique thing about the community college was it gave me the opportunity to, I don't know if you would necessarily call it experience failure, but experience not succeeding, and yet come back and do it again. What kept me going was I realized, what really happened was I realized that college isn't really designed for geniuses, and probably it shouldn't be. It's designed for people that, of average intelligence and that have the tenacity to work hard. I knew I had tenacity and I could compete with anybody, and that setting provided that opportunity to really learn that about myself. I'm only 18 years old at that stage, so. And then from Fort Steilacoom to University of Puget Sound, where I got my degree in history, actually. And then from there, I was probation officer, juvenile court, Raymond Hall. During this period of time that, again, I was only 25 or so, 26 years old maybe, and it was, it just didn't feel like we were doing much for the kids at that point to me, and decided to move on. And the woman I was dating at the time was a recent graduate in the University of Puget Sound Law School, and we talked about it, and I decided to go to law school. And I went to a big firm in Seattle, Bogle and Gates, and realized that the ivory tower type firms, while they're very important, was not really my personality at all. So I went from there up to Kitsap County, where I practiced for 5 years, just me and another attorney together. I was sworn in on April 18th of last year. The sentencing last Friday was, he was sentenced to life without possibility of ever getting out of jail. You know what, it's your job, you do your job. But the march of human tragedy, particularly on the criminal side, can be really overwhelming. Without the community college, well, it's an absolutely necessary rung in the ladder of my life. It certainly would never have gotten here without it. And I don't know what I would have done, but it wouldn't have been this, that's for sure.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Judge Gary Johnson.
Thank you. I suppose I should mention that the woman I was dating, there was more. I told the story. It's my wife, Jacqueline Rosenblatt, right here in the front. Look at here. Look. That's me. I'm wearing a robe. a Superior Court judge's robe. I'm a Superior Court judge. Wow, those are 6 words, if I counted it right. 6 words I never, ever thought I would utter. That's just beyond anything that came to my mind when I was at this institution. I should mention, someone said this institution has gone through some changes. Oh my goodness. When I came here in 1969 the first time, they were dragging, seriously, they were dragging like mobile homes up here, and we had this, it looked like kind of a modern version of Hooverville out here. But boy, did I have some good teachers. Man, did I have some good teachers. You know, Superior Court, Judge Layton's here from the federal court. But let me tell you something. The Pierce County Superior Court and the Superior Courts of the state of Washington handled the most serious cases in the state of Washington. Judge Layton does something, I don't know what it is. But we certainly do. In this last year, in 1 year on the bench, I've handled homicides, I've handled sexual violent predators, I sentenced a man to life in prison for burglary, I've handled car thefts, I've handled, gosh, you can't imagine the list I could go down. On the criminal, that's just the criminal side. That's just the criminal side. On the civil side, Land Use Protection Act, I've handled, oh my goodness, consumer protection. I've handled very large class action lawsuits. I've handled multi-million-dollar contract cases. I've handled divorces. I'm doing one right now, as a matter of fact. Mesothelioma, you know, asbestosis, I've had one of those. That's in 1 year, and I'm telling you, this is just, I'm not getting to half of what I've done in 1 year. I'm a Superior Court judge. They asked me to do this job. You know, I have to tell you, from a young man raised on Vashon Island, right over here, on the water over here, you know, my folks, look, what we ate in the winter was the critters that were grown on our farm, or the food that we had canned, we didn't freeze things in the summertime. I wore clothes oftentimes that were used, and let me tell you, I never felt poor. That's just the way life was. That's the way it was. Graduate from high school? Well, yeah, I did that, sort of. You know. I think I got a C or 2, I don't remember, but there weren't too many B's, I can tell you that. Because the idea of an academic education, of spending my life in academia, was about as remote as you could possibly imagine. I mean, anybody that played Little League may have thought once in a while they'd like to play pro ball, but, you know, come on, that's not going to happen. And I was kind of that way. Once in a while I did pretty well in class, but pretty much not really. I was very good with my hands. We had a farm, I knew how to frame a house, I knew how to install windows, I knew how to put a roof on, I knew all that. I knew how to take care of a car. My dad had oil trucks, and I knew how to change oil and replace engines and mill heads and all that kind of stuff. Quite good at it, actually, for a young man. But academia? No, that wasn't going to happen for me. Through a series of events that I don't have time to explain, and you probably don't want to hear it all anyway, but I ended up at flight school over at Clover Park Tech, and part of that program was college. My eyes went bad, flying was not going to happen. I went from 2020 to 2430 in less than a year. So that wasn't going to happen. So the next change, well, I was in school. My goodness. You know, there's a lot of things in our lives that make a difference, right? Sometimes they're a tiny little step we take to the right or take to the left, just little steps. It's hard to really even know what those were. Maybe a little pressure from the outside here, a little pressure from the outside there. We do things that go in directions we never thought possible, never even anticipated. But there are cornerstones, there are milestones and mile markers in our lives that we can look back at and say, well, that was really critical. The community college experience was absolutely critical to what happened in my life. There's no question about it. The community college experience gave me the opportunity, I would say more than anything, to learn about me. I had no clue that I had academic skills, none. And I found out I could compete with anybody. I had absolutely no idea that college was something that I could do. And then look what happens. It's absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. It was not only critical for me to understand who I am, it was critical that I would have some kind of a resume, some kind of thing to show others. I'm not just a farm boy. I can make it in the academic world. It was very critical to me. And to think about that, you know, I'm being honored. I'm being honored. Look at this place. How many thousands of kids have come through here? Thousands of young people, thousands of soldiers who would never had a chance without an institution exactly like this. How many have come through? Hundreds of thousands, if not this institution, throughout the country. Community college is an absolute fundamental. I mean, in Europe, what would I be? Probably a carpenter or a mechanic, right? Because they at some point, that's enough. You've had your chance, this is what you're gonna do. But here, there's a chance to go well beyond that because of the community colleges. So I'm being honored, please. It's this school, it's these institutions. And I have to say, this particular institution, just like me, it was starting up, and boy, was I starting my life at that time. This institution was absolutely critical for what I am. So, you know what, you want to honor me? No, honor this school. It's an amazing institution. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Judge Johnson, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be a fellow alumni and Pierce County employee. Way to go. Now I'm so honored to introduce such a talent. As the founder, producer, and director of Video Game Orchestra, Shota Nakama has used creativity to bring his two seemingly disparate passions into a cohesive, unique musical experience. His passion for music and video games began in childhood and continued at Pierce College, where Mr. Nakama earned an associate's degree as an international student from Okinawa, Japan. Mr. Nakama went on to Pacific Lutheran University, go Lutz, yay, and to the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, where he earned a bachelor's degree in film scoring. Last year, he finished his master's degree in classical guitar performance from the Boston Conservatory. My goodness. Mr. Nakama founded Video Game Orchestra in 2008 and has since performed all over the country, interpreting popular video game music and introducing video game culture to orchestral performance. In addition, Mr. Nakama has composed for video games and films and has worked internationally in recording and arranging. Congratulations, Shota. Let's watch a video to see his art in action.
I was born and raised in Japan. Okinawa, it's a small island south of Japan. Elementary school, middle school there, and then I didn't go to high school because I was like a rock star wannabe. So, but instead I got the GED. And I flew over to Seattle because I wanted to really pursue the real music education. My friend knew Patrick Cavendish. He's the head of the international student department in Pierce College. And my friend was like, "Do you want to go to Pierce College?" And I'm like, "Hell yes!" I really didn't speak any English, and I was placed into ESL level 1. So that's kind of the reason why I started Pierce College, but it turned out to be probably the best experience of my life. The music education that I received from Pierce College, that really built my foundation. So this is an orchestra that I created in 2008. It's an orchestra that plays contemporary arrangements of video game music, existing video game music, with a full orchestra, choir, and a rock band. Our reputation grew also, and just recently we just finished a concert in Boston Symphony Hall again. The orchestra is about, the full size is 100 apiece, and but when we tour, we just take like the core musicians, like 10 to 15 people, and then hire local orchestra, and we join with them and we do the show. Pierce College really got me ready for the real world, and all the precious friends I had and the great faculty members I had there. Yeah, I don't think I can find any substitute for that. And even like looking at my Berkeley time and my graduate school time, my orchestra time, the Pierce College time really shines the most, and it was just so incredibly fun.
So much talent in one person. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me honor Shota Nakama.
All right. Hello, guys. I have to be honest that I didn't prepare any speech, but that's how I am always. Look at me, like I'm wearing a chain and jeans and doing like rock star kind of stuff. But forgive me for that. But anyway, yeah. As I was saying in the video, I really loved the time in Pierce College, and yeah, I see some of the old folks here. Sylvia, I studied with her in classes, and yeah, I remember I had a crush on you actually. And yeah, well, it's too late now, but we're a little 10 years late. But yeah, Jerry Knudsen, he gave me so much. He really built my foundation in music. And what he taught me in music classes, I still apply them to the real world, and without him, I wouldn't be existing. Yeah, and I have a choir in my orchestra, and because one time he forced me to join a concert choir, and he was like, "You're gonna join the concert choir," and I said, "Why? I don't sing." And he's like, "You are going to join the concert choir." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." And I did that, but because of that experience, I can arrange for choir stuff, and I can integrate that to my stuff, and I even do choir recording sessions for like famous games and films and stuff. And it's all because of you. Thanks. And also my friend John there, we played in a rock band together for. How long? That was like 2 years, something like that, 3 years. Yeah, we played in a 70s, 80s rock band, and we did like a lot of Rush, Limelight, YYZ, and Rush songs. It was fun times, and I mean, really, this place is so special for me. Like I was saying in the video, I can't find anything better in my life, really. I really sound like I'm getting like $20 changes from Pierce College people, but, but yeah, it was just fantastic, and I can't think of anything else. Really, every day I spent in Pierce College was so fantastic, and this school really made me pursue my goal now, and I'm really thankful for that, and remember shaking your hand at my graduation too. And since then, I've grown so much, I think. And I'm here now. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much for giving me this award, and I thank you all my friends and the one I had a crush on, and my teacher and my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shota. Okay, this next distinguished alumni, the first time I saw him was on television with the president. Now, I'm not as smooth as a president, but I'll give it my best shot. Sergeant First Class Aurora Petrie enlisted in the Army at the age of 20. 2 years before the September 11th terrorist attacks, and volunteered for the Army Rangers. Over his career, he has been deployed 8 times, twice to Iraq and 6 times to Afghanistan. In May 2008, while in Iraq, Sergeant Petrie risked his life and lost his hand to save 2 of his men during a firefight. Even as he was being loaded into the helicopter to receive medical treatment, his first priority was the other soldiers in his unit. For his bravery, Sergeant Petrie received the Congressional Medal of Honor, 2 Bronze Stars, a Purple Heart, 3 Army Commendation Medals, a Valorous Unit Award, 3 Army Good Conduct Medals, and the list goes on. As a senior non-commissioned officer stationed at Fort Lewis, Sergeant Petrie has taken classes through Pierce College's military program on base. He plans to continue his education and to start his own business after his military retirement. He currently serves as liaison for injured soldiers and their families at Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Congratulations, Leroy, and let's watch this moving video about him.
I enlisted in 1999. I went to Afghanistan first in 2002. College has always been a big ambition of mine. The military takes great care of you and gives you the opportunity to go get your education. The education is not only benefiting you, but also if you're making the military a career, it's great for your promotion. It does nothing but better your life. As soon as our helicopter touches down on the ground, we were receiving enemy fire. We eliminated that threat. My platoon leader and I were moving up toward the enemy position. And as I trailed in, I was the last man into this courtyard. And as I come in, they're immediately going into a building kitty corner. As I'm standing on the outside of the doorway, I'm saying, give me a guy, because I know the courtyard still is a open area threat, so I want to clear that. And as soon as I get a bump up on my shoulder, it's a PFC Robinson at the time. He bumps me and we start moving, and as soon as we break a corner, there's 2 enemy combatants with AK-47s just spraying at their hips. And I continue to lead them across. We run across a little open area, probably 8 feet, and get behind this little building, which they ended up calling a chicken coop because it was a smaller building. He followed me. He got shot right below his left armpit, around the rib cage area. And we got behind the building, still heavy volumes of fire coming around the building, and I immediately tell him to start doing self-aid. I get on the radio. I had gotten shot through both my legs at the time. I didn't know it was both the legs. I thought it was just my left thigh. It felt like a hammer slamming into your thigh. At that point, I prepped a grenade, threw it over the building. As it went off, Sergeant Higgins, another one of the Rangers, came running up to us, and I immediately pointed him to Robinson, said start helping him, start pulling security, because my biggest fear was the enemy was going to converge on us and come around the building and just finish us while we're there. At that point, my legs started hurting, so I sat down, and the next thing we know, we hear a loud blast and kind of knocks those 2 to the ground, and they sit up and they look at me and they're like, what the hell was that? And I said, well, they're throwing grenades, keep your heads down and keep pulling security. And I get it back up on the radio, give them an update. As I'm pulling security on the left side of the building, I turn around to check again on my guys. There's a pineapple grenade sitting in the middle of us from one another. And I immediately recognized it as a threat to themselves or to them and myself. And I reached over and I grabbed it, and as soon as I started to throw it, it exploded as my hand opened up, and I sat up, grabbed my wrist, well, below my wrist, and the hand was completely gone, severed at the wrist like a circular saw had come through and ripped it off. And really vivid picture in my head as to what it looked like. I mean, I sat up and for a second I thought, why isn't this thing spraying blood everywhere? And then I realized, okay, I got to take care of it. Grabbed a tourniquet, applied a tourniquet on there, and then you could smell the burning flesh. You could see the radius and the ulna poking up about a ½ an inch, and then just shredded skin hanging all around the edges, and it was just oozing. But I got the bleeding to stop, applied the tourniquet, got back on the radio, called my command, and they said, okay, help's on the way.
The Medal of Honor to an extraordinary American soldier, Sergeant First Class Leroy Petrie.
I got a phone call from the president saying that he was going to approve the Medal of Honor and that he'd like to extend an invitation out for myself and my family to come to the White House to receive it. Walking into the Oval Office, I kind of just in awe, just staring around, looking at everything that he had in there. And then next thing I know, I feel a tap on my shoulder. He's like, all right, Sergeant Petrie, let's get going. We got to get to the ceremony. And then he signed my citation, and that's when I noticed he was left-handed. And I said, well, I'm new to left-handed. How do you keep from smudging everything?
Please join me in saluting one of those heroes, Leroy Petrie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's kind of interesting watching that video. It sounds, I sit there and I listen to it, and I think, oh man, that sounds terrible. And then I realize that happened to me. But thank you, Susie Ames, Dr. Johnson, Pierce College, and the Pierce College Foundation, and all those who made tonight possible. I'd also like to thank my family and friends that are here with me tonight. It's my honor to be here. I'd also like to recognize one of my teachers, Mr. Turner, whom I've had the privilege of being one of his pupils on more than one occasion. Thank you for the inspiration. I haven't lost sight of my entrepreneurship goal. It's just put on hold for a bit. But that's kind of where I wanted to go with this, is receiving the Medal of Honor. It's not going to be what defines me. I still have goals of starting an entrepreneurship and owning my own business and running it. So that's where education is important to me, as well as, and Pierce College is such a great place to start your roots. And when you have strong roots, you're going to grow big and do great things. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to do. But Julius Caesar he was a philosopher, and some of his speeches were pretty lengthy, which is why I think they stabbed him after his last one. So I'm going to keep this short. But I've attended both classroom online courses and here and on Fort Lewis, and the one thing that I noticed is that I had great experiences on all three. And you run into a lot of diversity at these universities, at Pierce College all around, but the great thing is that we all had something in common, and that was we had the ambition to further our education and achieve new goals, and that's what was great to see. And we all worked together, almost like me and my team at our units. You pull together when time comes through, and I remember a lot of my fellow students helping me with my homework, and a lot of times telling my wife, I got to go over to a friend's house and study, got a big test. But when I was injured, I had a hard time with my memory. That was one thing that I got affected, and just remembering dates, remembering events, and it was tough. Well, if you ask my wife, I still do. But
selective listening skills, some would say they're called, but just kidding, honey, I love you. But the one thing that helped me with this problem was my education and taking those classes when in 2010, I guess they kind of sparked new neural pathways in my brain and started helping me think more. And that was, I saw my memory improving from that. And it was a positive thing, and I try to inspire all the other soldiers that are dealing with traumatic brain injury to try something new to do that. And I said, education worked for me. If you can, try that out, because it's not only going to benefit you to remember things, but you're going to retain new things. And that's one of the objectives of the Medal of Honor Society, is to inspire and stimulate youth to become worthy citizens of our country. And I figured what better way to lead by example than me making the time and pursuing my education and showing others that it is possible to be a father of 4 children, married, in the military, and still working on your degree and achieving that degree. So I've seen many of my predecessors do that, and it's possible. I believe some of the most underappreciated people in our society are our teachers. They're entrusted with the education of ourselves and our children, our future. So thank you to all you teachers and professors out there for all you do. While your jobs might, while your jobs might not have tangible rewards, the feeling of changing someone's life is tremendous. I know that because of my work with the wounded soldiers. I had the opportunity to get out of the service, great disability rating, and probably make some good money, but I chose the passion of helping other soldiers, and doing that is my primary. I get the most satisfaction out of seeing the resilience of younger guys and pushing them further to do their best. And the same way the professors here at Pierce College did for me, pushed me to achieve my best. Some bribed me with candy on test day. Do your best, Mr. Turner. But great memories. That's what it was about. Is we're sitting here and during the salad and dinner, my wife saying, "This is great. This is awesome," because it's our community, and people are having a great time, and it's just easygoing chatting. And that's what I experienced here at the college. Is everyone was nice and helpful and really upbeat. And my future, though, it has a degree from Pierce College, associates, and in it, and I look forward to continuing to attend and learn more. I always say knowledge is power. I will continue to encourage my fellow service members to further their education and the youth of our community and society, and will always speak in high regard about Pierce College and the people who make it great. Thank you again for everything. Rangers lead the way.
You know, for some reason, I don't think he's going to have any problem inspiring the youth of this country. And if the business thing doesn't work out, please come see me in emergency management. I have got a spot for you. No, thank you so much. And we would like to thank all of our distinguished alumni that have been honored tonight, and those who have been previously honored who are here to welcome the new class. Thank you for continuing the spirit of Pierce College in all that you do. And thank you to everyone for being here to celebrate the accomplishments of our alumni tonight. Now, please feel free to stay and visit with each other as long as you'd like. And thanks again, and good night, everyone.